Welcome to a very exclusive episode of Harness the Power with Power School. This episode is going to feature the K1 grade scales, so let's get right into it. What I've done here is I've launched into Power School, and I'm going to go right into PowerTeacher Pro. Okay, in order to utilize the 1 through 3 at the kindergarten and first grade level, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and make an assignment here. I'm going to call this example 1 through 3. I can again remember that you can apply it to multiple classes in the case that you have, let's say you teach 2 sections of language arts or 2 sections of math. You can put it on 2 classes at the same time just by using the select classes right up here. Under category, we got to pick a category, so we're going to pick classwork. And then as far as score type, we are going to use collected only. Okay, so cool thing, we're going to talk more about that when you actually see what it looks like when we go to put in the grades. But we're going to use collected only. And then Students tab. Now remember, under the Students tab, here's where you can differentiate if you need. So, maybe I had a student that this assignment did not apply to, or the student was out of the classroom, or they get a different modified assignment. I can go in and say, okay, add and remove students, and then I can remove those students, and that way it doesn't reflect this assignment as part of their scores. They won't be included. As far as standards, here's the important part. We got to make sure we're linking in the standard that we're reflecting on with this assignment. So I'm just going to use my first standard right here for the example. And then publish, the publish tab, don't forget about it. It's a hidden little gem, if you will. Instead of having to publish assignments immediately, which means the minute that I hit the save and close button right down here, that would mean that the grades and the assignment are automatically going to show to the parents on the parent portal and to students on their side of PowerSchool. So instead, what I can do is I can say, I want to publish on a specific date. And right now, let's say I'm working on this and it's Wednesday, and I anticipate that I'll be done with grades and everything will be fully updated by Friday. So I can say, publish on Friday and include published scores. And then what that means is you will have the ability on the teacher side to go in and add scores and make edits and changes all the way through immediately. But as far as parents and students being able to see the assignment, they will not see it until Friday. That is the time where it will be now displayed as part of their grades for the class that they can see. Okay. All right. We've got our assignment created. We're going to go in. Now, since we're doing this as a collected only assignment, interestingly enough, when I click to put in my first score for my first student, I'm only going to get the flags, okay? Now, say I had a kiddo who was absent that day, and I've got a student that did not do the assignment, so I'm going to mark them as missing, but everybody else was here, everybody did it. So they're going to get the collected flag. And don't forget about this other little tip right here, and that is the vertical fill button. It is awesome, and it is a wonderful time saver in PowerSchool. So now that I've got everybody marked, I'm just going to go and say, everybody else did it. And it's going to update 17 scores that were remaining. Notice it didn't overwrite the absent mark or the missing mark for my student who was absent and my student who has the assignment missing. It only filled in collected for those blank cells, the kids that were remaining. Okay, we're going to now, as far as the next column, we're going to actually look at the standards. Okay, it is critical. This is where you put in the 1 through 3 rating for the kindergarten and the first grade level, because these are what are going to actually show and reflect on the report card. Okay, it's not the score column. This is the standard column that will be utilized in the actual completion of the report cards. Okay, so let's see. We're going to give, this student was, again, missing. This student was absent. And the remaining students, let's say I had a student here who got a 2, student who got a 1. Put another 2, and everybody else got a 3. So I'm going to say 3 and fill, and it's going to update the remaining 14. Those 2s and 1s are still there. It also did not fill again the value here for the missing and the absent student. And then I'm going to save scores. All right, cool thing. So what does this actually do? Now, if you want to go in and take a look at how the progress is going for your students on their standards, that's where the progress tab comes in. And you can come in and take a look and say, okay, I want to look at standards progress. Okay. This screen is amazing, right? One, you can take a look at a glance and see how many times you've measured a certain standard and how many assignments that you have in your grade book that correspond to that standard. Just by looking right here, I can see I've got 1 assignment. If I click on it, it'll tell me what assignment and what day that was put into the grade book. Okay, so we can check that out right there. And then you'll start to get this distribution. Okay, and you can even expand it, and you'll start to see trends between quarter 1 and quarter 2 as that data progresses. But we can also see now how students are doing. So we've got the dark green 3, the light green 2, because all of these are above or meeting at least district standards. And then the 1 indicates the student is working at below district standards at this time. Okay. The 2 students, by the way, that were missing and absent are reflected down here. They're not included in the standards distribution right now because they're blank. Okay. When those values get plugged in later on, they will automatically update in this standards progress area. Awesome. All right, let's come back to the assignment list. So again, the critical piece, when you're going in and making your assignment, you can just run it as collected only, so they get a little check mark that you collected it. The big thing is in the standards area, when you're actually putting in your scores, it's important that your 1 through 3 rating comes in on the standards column for how it will reflect, and so that way all the information comes over right into the gradebook A-OK, and we're good to go. Hopefully this clarifies information. Thank you so much for your patience, by the way, on these, and thank you also for those questions coming in, because that drew our attention that this definitely needed to be addressed, and we know that you've been eager and anxious to get this up and going. We are thrilled that everything is functional now for you, and we're so glad that we're getting everything kind of hammered out as we go, and we appreciate your patience again as we're learning the new PowerSchool system. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you all in the next episode. Have a great day. Bye-bye.